Hi, how do you set the right expectations for mutual fund returns? Most investors look at past performances or nifty returns. But what if I told you there is a more scientific fundamental benchmark called nominal GDP? Now, what is nominal GDP? Nominal GDP is a mix of GDP and inflation. In a particular year, if India's real GDP growth is at around 6% and inflation is at around 5%, nominal GDP will be at 6 plus 5, 11%. This means that if India's nominal GDP is 11%, then our economy as a whole is expanding at this rate in money terms. Now, why does this matter to mutual funds? Because over long term, stock market returns tend to reflect nominal GDP growth. Let's try and understand this in simpler terms. If the cost of this mug is 100 rupees today, and if the inflation is at 5%, the cost of this mug next year will be 105 rupees. If I have invested 100 rupees into the company that makes this mug this year, inflation is going to take that valuation up to 105, and if the GDP is growing at 6%, that value is going to reflect in the stock price of the company that makes this mug. Now 6 plus 5, the valuation of my 100 rupees will be at 111 next year. This is how nominal GDP will impact my investments into mutual funds. Between 1990 to 2020, India's nominal GDP was at 12% per annum. Nifty 50 delivered a CAGR of around 13% over the same period. So, how can you use this knowledge as an investor? Instead of expecting 20-30% returns over your mutual funds, align your expectations with nominal GDP growth rate. If your returns are above that, the markets are doing really well. If your returns are below nominal GDP, it's either a temporary setback in the market or there is something wrong with your fund. So the next time someone promises you over 20% returns on mutual funds, ask yourself, is this really sustainable compared to GDP growth? Reach out to Atmiya or any trusted mutual fund expert to understand this better and to choose the right funds to reach your financial goals. Thank you.
ಮ್ಯೂಚುವಲ್ ಫಂಡ್ ಹೂಡಿಕೆಗಳು ಮಾರುಕಟ್ಟೆ ಅಪಾಯಗಳಿಗೆ ಒಳಪಟ್ಟಿರುತ್ತವೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಯೋಜನೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಿತ ದಾಖಲಾತಿಗಳನ್ನು ಜಾಗೃತಿಯಿಂದ ಓದಿರಿ.